Hey guys, sorry, had to get some water before I got this party started. You know, sometimes those of us that do video online try to make it all way too slick. So, yes, we drink water. It's okay. Hey, as you know, Gary Miller here from abetterguy.com, coming to you from the home office / guitar museum in the background here in San Antonio, Texas. Wanted to share a quick thing with you. The kind of motivation behind this was I was just filming a video for our subscribers over at our business internet marketing site, which is GaryMillerJR.com. I know a lot of you guys kind of bounce between both my sites and take part in both communities. So if you already saw this video, because we just emailed it out to all the subscribers over there, sorry for duplication. It is a different video, but same topic. But we were doing a topic over there, and I just thought, man, we finished it. I sent it out to the list, and I was like, man, this would be really good for the guys in the Better Guy community. So I wanted to share it with you. And I wanted to share with you a tool that literally has taken my productivity, my success, and sent it through the roof in the last 10 months. And it's a tool that you can literally buy at a dollar store. And you're like, what? Yes, no, we're not selling you some $1,000 product here. It's a tool that you can buy at a dollar store. And what I'm talking about is a journal and or a notebook. Now, in fairness, I was Truth in Advertising. I got my journal that I do all my noting in and writing from Barnes & Noble on the used rack for about $8. So I'm like big spender. But you can literally get a legal pad notebook spiral for like $1 at a dollar store, right? And you say, this is the thing, this is the tool that transformed your business, your personal life. Well, it was one of the major tools that I use, and I use it every day. You'd be hard-pressed to see me going anywhere without this in my hand. My wife and I were just literally, last week, we went to there's a place here in San Antonio, it's like a indoor playground kid-a-palooza. And so it's inside, they're kind of corralled enough that you can see them. And they just go crazy and have a great time. There's a moon bounce and all that stuff that kids dig. It's so fun to watch them. It's incredible. You also get to see some really goofy parents, but that just makes good fodder for podcasts and blogging for me. But anyway, there's a section on the side, right, where the couches are for the parents. And when I wasn't tapping out Crystal, when I wasn't kind of out there policing and I got a break, I was over there. I was sitting on the couch, my journal. I was writing down podcast ideas. I was doing marketing strategies for our internet marketing business. I mean, I was doing all of it right there in my journal. It goes everywhere I go. But I tell you, there are two reasons why I think this is so pivotal. First off is that you and I lie to ourselves all the time. We talk about this a bit on the podcast, but you and I lie to ourselves many ways. But one way is that we assume that we'll be out having a conversation, right? And you and I are talking, and some great idea comes up, and we'll say, you know what? I'm going to write that down. Yeah, I'll definitely write that down. And do we write it down? No. You might be listening to an episode of The Better Guy Show. Ding, ding, ding. You're out there, you're listening to that. I say something that you're like, man, that would really work in my life. Yeah, I got to try that. And you're driving in the car. You're like, I'm going to write that down sometime. Do you write it down? Probably not, if you're not already a journal guy like I am. And so we lose so many ideas. And I take this over again because I just got done talking about this topic from a business perspective online. And I told folks, and I'll tell you, I'll be completely honest with you. I don't even want to know the money that I've lost with my online businesses because I have not captured ideas. Instead, I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to write that down. Yeah, that would be really cool to try that. And I never do it. I was just having a conversation with Crystal. As you know, Crystal's my wife the other night. And this was 2 nights ago. And we had I was on the phone. I did a training call, a marketing call with our business, got off that. And I mean, I was just fired up. Like the trainer on the call just had me and listen, I'm in the business of broadcasting and teaching. So if a trainer can get me going, that guy's awesome. And so we were just so charged up at the end of the call. And we were talking and shooting out ideas and all this. And I'm like, man, we've got to write this down because we're going to say, oh, I'll get to it. And you got to do it. You're going to lose so many ideas. You say, why? Well, because we're bombarded with information, man. I mean, how much stuff are you getting in your email, your cell phone, your social media feeds, TV commercials, radio, you name it. And if, there's only so much real estate up here, and if we don't capture those ideas, we're going to lose them. You guys know what I'm talking about? So that's the number one reason why you need to get in the habit of taking a pad, a journal around with you. And you say, well, I've got my iPhone. You've got your iPhone, right? Well, there's nothing wrong with gadgets. Listen, dude, I'm recording this on an iMac. We got multiple iPads, Apple TVs. It's like an Apple store in this house, okay? But there's a different element when we actually put our hand to a pen, in this case highlighter, visual aid, pen, and we write it down onto paper. And that's the second point of this, why it's so important. There's a different level of accountability when you and I take a pen and put it to paper. I'll give you a couple examples. If you've bought a house before, you know that when you go to closing, you sign about 50 different documents as part of the closing process, right? You can't just email in and say, yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Here's my email signature. I'm good to go. No, even if you close from a distance, and I've closed on real estate properties from other states, I can tell you I still had to sign a pile of documents and fax it over. Why? Because we are signing it. We're responsible for it now. We're accountable for it now. It totally changes our relationship with whatever the task is. You get a check, like a refund check, a rebate check, tax refund, or your grandma sends you that $25, because they don't know really what else to send you, so they send you $20 or something, and it's a check. And so you have to write it, right? You go into the bank, you can't just say, hey, I'm good. You got to endorse that, right? I mean, if you go into the bank, you got to endorse it. I know some people are going to say, well, my app lets me scan it. You know what I'm talking about, man. You've got to go in, you've got to sign it, you've got to endorse it. You put your name on it, you're owning it. Hey, I'm getting this money. It's a different level of ownership. It's a different level of ownership when we sit down with our journal and we write and we put our ideas down there. Now, I'm not saying, I think when we hear journaling, we think I'm writing volumes of deep thoughts. Now, you can see on here, I've got text highlighted, and these are notes. A lot of notes from training calls, a lot of notes that I do when I listen to podcasts. I'm a podcast producer. You guys know about the Better Guy Show. We're having a lot of success with that product, right? But I listen to podcasts constantly, guys. When I work out, podcast or training, it's in my ears. I'm learning constantly. And I'm writing those ideas down. I'm not sitting here writing haikus, okay? Now, if you're into haiku, that's great, but it's not my thing. So I'm writing down ideas. I'm writing down, by the way, I have whole sheets in mind about my targets. When I talk about hyper tracking and doing a weekly review and all those things we harp on over at abetterguy.com all the time, I don't just talk about that stuff, guys. I write it down in a journal. And the reason is because, one, my accountability is automatically up. I put my name on it, all right? But not only am I putting my name on it, but I can also go back and I can review. And I can say, man, how did I do this week? Because if I try to do a weekly review or I'm trying to really assess my goals and I never wrote them down, I have no idea if I've even met them or not. You know what I mean? So, I want to write them down as an accountability measure, but also as a detailed measure. Not to mention, guys, if you don't have crazy specifics in your details when it comes to your goals, you're not going to achieve them, or you're going to achieve well below what it is you want. We talk about the greats all the time, right? Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, the classic goals teachers, and every single one of them will tell you the same stuff. Write it in the present tense, write it with all kinds of detail, write it with detail that brings in all of your senses when you're writing your vision. When I'm working with coaching clients, guys, or business clients over at my other site, and people come to me and I ask them, what are your goals? And if someone says to me, I want to make money, not going to work. That's the worst goal ever, because that doesn't mean anything. It's all spongy. We need to have crazy, crazy detail. And you know what? It helps us, because when we're writing it, sometimes it slows us down, which is good, because you and I are always in a hurry. But then we have to really think about that and try to really get detailed with it. Now, can you get detailed typing? Sure you can. But I think there's something else about owning it. Again, the power of the pen and the paper. So those are the two primary reasons I think you need to get into this habit. Take it everywhere you go. Write it down. You go, man, yours is way too big. There's, I think Field Notes makes small ones that you can kind of tuck in the back of your jean pocket. Me, I just like them a little bigger. I like to be able to, because I draw lots of boxes and arrows and all that kind of stuff when I'm taking notes. Whatever kind, don't get hung up on that. Again, this is real radical. $8 for mine. You can get a spiral for $1-ish. So do this. and you say, you know what, you sent me an email about this, Gary, like this is going to make me a better guy. Well, hey, prove me wrong. For the next 90 days, have this around you all the time. When you're listening to a podcast, take notes. When you're listening to a great training, take notes. When you're having a conversation with somebody and they say something awesome, write that down, capture it. Do your weekly reviews every week for the next 90 days. If you need to learn how to do that, go out to abetterguy.com. Podcast is there on weekly reviews and hyper tracking. Do it for the next 90 days and then send me an email and tell me it doesn't work. Whatever success area you're looking to do, business, finances, weight loss, fitness in general, relationship issues, whatever it is, I am telling you, this is the most powerful tool you can have in your arsenal for the least amount of money. All right, because it's going to, so often, I just heard somebody say this, and I wrote it down as a matter of fact this week. I heard someone say on a call on Monday night that I was on, it was incredible, and we spend so much time trying to work on our business or work on our workout routine or work on our marriage. And the best thing we can do is work on ourselves so that we can be better in all of those places. That's really the Better Guy message, right? We want to be better husbands, better dads, better pros. And one other thing I got to share with you. The reason why this is so effective is because it reminds us that we're all students. We're all students. You and me, we're students. And whenever we walk around thinking we've arrived, like, hey, look at me, I host a show on iTunes with thousands of downloads about being a better husband, better dad, and better pro. I must be the greatest guy ever. Hardly. Ask my wife. I got just as much to work on, but I'm always working on it. This reminds us that we're students, that we need to take some notes still. We need to learn, because if we're getting the right stuff in, right stuff out, it'll help you be a better guy. See what I'm saying? Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Visit us out at abetterguy.com, and please take care of those resources. Take advantage of those resources out on iTunes, those free podcasts about weekly planning, goal setting, and hyper tracking. All those things are out there for free. I think they'll be a huge, huge help to you. I will see you next time.